This is a new topic that we are starting. I have not normally publicly taught this topic. This was supposed to be one of the secrets of my tradition, but by now, I've been giving out everything, so what secret? There's no point in keeping secrets in this. The more we share the knowledge, the more we get. So, this is, firstly, this is called Tithi. Tithi, say it with me, Tithi Pravesha. Tithi is a technical term. It's an angle between the sun and the moon. The sun is the father, is Shiva, and the moon is the Divine Mother. So the angle between the sun and the moon shows the relationship between the father and the mother that led to our creation. That relationship that the father had with the mother or the mother had with the father, which led to our creation, will dominate all our relationships in this planet. That is the relationship which has been put inside our head. It's like a chip. It is a chip in time that has been put inside your head. And that is going to decide all your relationships. That is your real birthday. Because if the father and the mother did not have a relationship, I'm using the word relationship, actually it's mating. If they did not mate, how do you think you would have appeared in this planet? You can't drop out of a flower, right? Okay, but even if you dropped out of a flower, the Divine Father and the Divine Mother did have a relationship. Okay, so the sun and the moon were always there in the sky. And what happens is, if you take the sun as a point and go around the zodiac and come back to the sun, we cover a full 360 degrees. These 360 degrees is broken into two parts. When the moon is going away from the sun, when the moon goes away from the sun, what is happening? Its light is increasing. It's called the waxing half. And the moon starts moving towards the sun, its light is decreasing. It's called the waning half. So, waxing half and the waning half are the two halves of the moon and sun relationship. So basically we can say 180 degrees from the sun is the waxing half and 180 degrees is the waning half. And this 180 degrees is divided into 15 relationship days. Each relationship day is defined by an angular displacement of 12 degrees. So from the sun, when the moon is away by 12 degrees, that's one relationship day. Did you get the point over here? No. Okay. See, the sun is, let us say the sun is in 5 degrees Aries, as an example, 5 degrees of Aries, and the sun and the moon have conjoined. When the sun and the moon conjoin, it is perfect darkness. There is no moonlight in the sky. The moon is not there in the sky. It is perfect light. It's called a dark moon. And then the moon, being faster than the sun, will start moving away from the sun. It moves ahead of the sun. And as it starts moving ahead, the sun is still at 5 degrees. The sun moves from 5 degrees to 6 degrees in one day. And the moon will move from, let's say, 5 degrees where the conjunction was, to 18 degrees in one day. So how much has the moon moved to in one day? The next day morning, you see the moon is roughly in about 18 degrees. And the sun has only reached 6 degrees. What is the difference between the moon and the sun? 18 minus 6, 12 degrees. That is called a relationship day. That one day the sun and the moon were in a relationship of the first kind. It's called the first kind of relationship. Every 12 degrees defines one type of a relationship. So how many relationships can we have? We can have 15 relationships when the moon is going away from the sun, and 15 relationships when the moon is coming towards the sun. So how many total relationships can there be in a month? From one conjunction to another conjunction, 30 relationships. So 30 kinds of relationships are there, and that is why we have 30 days in a month.
That's amazing.
You see that? And therefore, each of these days is called a tithi. A tithi is a Vedic date. Tithi, the first word. That is a Vedic day. So whenever we use the word tithi, we understand, oh, Shiva and Shakti have come together. And that is the Shiva Linga. The Shiva Linga is nothing but the coming together of Shiva and Parvati. The father and the mother. The Holy Father and the Mother, they have come together. They're mating. Because they mated, there were children born over here. Children for animals, children for birds, children for insects, children for human beings. All the beings that were created happened because the Holy Father and the Holy Father mated. And that is what is represented in the Shiva Linga. And we thank that because that is the real creator. We praise the Creator, right? Why do we praise the Creator? We thank Him for having created us by giving us a chance. Otherwise, you don't have a chance. You're moving around like a ghost. You can't burn your karmas. We have to burn karmas. And who's giving you the chance to burn karmas? The Holy Father and the Holy Mother. How did that happen? The Shiva Linga. Shiva Linga is just, you have seen the Shiva Linga, right? It's just the upper part. The lower part is the Shakti, the Mother. So the upper part is Shiva, the lower part is the Mother, and they came together. What were we celebrating recently? We were celebrating the coming together of the Father and the Mother, and that's what we did. We established that coming together over here. That is the ultimate symbol of the Creator. There can be no symbol higher than that for the ultimate Creator. That is the Tithi. So say it with me, Tithi. Good. So, when our birthday, when we celebrate birthdays, from now you will never again celebrate birthday like fools. Like I say, I'm born on the 7th of August. And so every year on the 7th of August is my birthday. No, it is not. It depends upon whether the relationship between the sun and the moon is exactly the same on that day or not. If it is, then it is your birthday. If it is not, it's not your birthday. Do you get the point here? So we are celebrating birthday Vedic. Vedic means knowledge. In India, for example, they say Sri Ram was born on Ram Navami. Navami means the 9th relationship of the sun and the moon. The days are called like this. The first relationship is called Pratipada, means the first relationship. There are names, but you can learn those names as Sanskrit, part of Sanskrit. Make a note. When you're teaching, you got to teach these names. We need to know the relationship between the father and the mother. I was born on Tritiya, the third relationship. Dvitiya, Dvi is 2. Prati is 1. Dvi is 2. Tri is 3. Sounds similar, right? Chatur is 4. I mean, if you were in Eastern Europe, I would say Sanskrit and you would say, of course I know these words. Because the language is very similar. Panchama, 5. Pancha, 5. Sashti, Sashta, 6. Saptama, 7. Ashtama, Ashta, 8. Navami, Nava, 9. It's just a language. So we can just remember numbers, right? So we can say first, second, third, 4, 5, like that. So I was born in the third relationship in the dark half. So I can only be reborn every year on the third relationship. I cannot be reborn in any other relationship. Because that is my real creation. That is the Shiva Linga that we celebrated. Isn't it such a interesting thing? So it's important that we know when that angle between the sun and the moon is exactly the same. So for that, that happens once every year. And when that happens, the moment that happens, we make a chart. That chart becomes our annual chart. That is the annual Vedic chart. Why is it Vedic? Because we are following the father and the mother coming together, the Shiva Linga. In the Midwest, that is, Midwest when I say is Greece, maybe some of Iran, Iraq, they used to have a lot of astrology. They follow a system of the sun coming back, what they call the solar return. Those of you who do Western astrology would have heard about solar return, the sun coming back. But we don't do that. What sun coming back is just like the father coming back. What about mom? You can't be created without mom. Let's be clear on that. So you need a father and you need a mother, and they need to come together for you to be created. So we told the Midwest guys, that's your system. You don't honor the mother. Well, we know exactly how we were created. Right? So those guys think that they fell out of a flower. We know better. So we are going to learn how are we going to calculate this. In India, this is calculated for all the avatars. Even Krishna's birthday is celebrated today on different days, depending upon when that sun and the moon come together. Even Krishna was born. The fact that he was born, it means Shiva and Parvati came together. And how did Krishna respect his parents? He built a huge temple for them, which stands even today, which we call Somnath. So that is the truth. It's there in front of us. And so we need to understand what are these and how do we study these special charts. It tells us exactly what is likely to manifest in this year for you. Where your focus is going to be, what your troubles are going to be, what's good for you. So it's a system of annual horoscopy in which we get to know what's happening for the year. What is that one remedy I need to know to ensure that I'm going to have a good year ahead of me? Interesting, right?